Now, this might be on the expected Gadget movie. Now, I know I have both in the past videos. I have said I hate, one says I hate the film, and the other one says I like this film. So, one of them was my answer going to be, like, be in this movie. I like this movie a lot. Give it 10 out of 10, solid 10 out of 10. But I'm also like, split on it. I think. Let's talk about it, shall we? So the movie opens up with Dr. Brown saving a bunch of kids on a school bus with his his nephew Penny being on the school bus coincidentally. Oh, but turns out it's just a dream, and he wakes up to a brain licking his lips. Oh, by the way, this is based on a cartoon series. Yes, these are names after cartoon characters from the show called Inspector Gadget. This was same title as the movie. So, just letting you know, this you didn't like saw the show. You know, it does a fairly decent. Actually, it's coming to this. It does do a fairly decent job at doing adaptations of the show. Especially given when, like, the person who's playing Special Gadget is, like, probably, not the most talented actor, but probably one of the least talented actors in business of acting, is Matthew Broderick playing Inspector Gadget. But he's not playing Inspector Gadget. Yeah, you see, this is the origin story of Inspector Gadget, of how he became to be. The bumbling, oblivious Inspector we know from the cartoon. So, he's right now is a regular security guard who's called Officer Brown, and Penny goes to school. Officer Brown at nighttime gets in a terrible accident that could mean life or death matter speakings. And he looks fucked up. He look really fucked up. And the only way to save his life is for Officer Brown to get enhanced with, well, gadgets and useless crap for stopping crime. And but then again, that's like kind of, yeah, I don't see, now I know what you're going to say. Sounds an awful lot like RoboCop, doesn't it, this setup so far? Yeah, it does, when you think about it. We see how it sounds. But then it, like, goes to, but it does how it does all these builds these story beats. It does in like a really zany, goofy, yet in some sort of grounded reality compared to the cartoon. The story beats. So, yeah. Gadget wakes up and he realizes he is not the same person literally he was. And he thinks he's on some kind of serious acid trip. But then he realized he was in a terrible accident, realized the only way to save him is to enhance his body. Through mechanical science shit and shit like that. It's called the Go-Go Gadget program. And that is how he, and some is like his, his gadgets, and he just says Go-Go Gadgets, and he learns this by training, and the girl teaching him, walking him through all of it, after he gets the gadget suit and after he wakes up from his coma. But don't worry, all of this is done in a matter of slapstick, hilarious slapstick. Like, for example, he says, "Go Gadget oil slay," and what's weird, toothpaste comes out and it's a serious amount of toothpaste. Like it's like a fire hose level toothpaste that comes out of his, and goes working for the program, says we need to work, so get some more work with you. So and he gets the Gadget mobile. And the Gadget Mobile apparently has an AI that allows Gadget Mobile to talk and communicate with Inspector Gadget. So while he's out fighting crime, and this is a guy that's like how he wants to. If you need to hang out with, say, you know what? I don't know why they didn't use Chris Rock instead of this. That's not a Chris Rock voice, but you know. He has Chris Rock's mannerism, you know, his slapstick comedy mannerism. So I don't know why they didn't went with like Chris Rock doing this voice. Maybe he couldn't. Maybe he was costing too much, or maybe he was in a project. So he's says what Go Gadget Mobile, and accidentally starts the car. So they go to fight crime, and Gadget sees right through that he's like he has feelings for Brenda, and he says try to say it's neutral his feelings for Brenda, and which he's full of shit. So they catch their first group of bad guys after Inspector helps them steal a car because they lied to him, and he buys a lie, and he doesn't notice that they're wearing prisoner uniforms and think that they're just this proves how oblivious Gadget is. I like this movie. It can demonstrate how oblivious Gadget can be. You know, he means well, like in the cartoon. So then as he like gets the castle, the alarm goes off. So car points out, like, says, guys on you points out by sarcastically points out. He says it was a sarcasm that people. We got prisoners loose on the run, and he says, "Well, we should notify the authorities." And then he realized, wait a minute, I helped them try to break in someone else's car, and I didn't notice that they were prisoners wearing prisoner uniforms. That was some sort of thought they worked in the prison, or thought they were wearing costumes. I guess this implies that's what he thought. So, yeah. So, him and the car catch the bad guys and bring him into custody, and he's now making headlines and becoming more popular with the kids and worldwide. So, Chief is asked by the inspector when he can get his first real case, and he says, "I got a few side projects for you to keep you busy in the meantime, but don't worry, you'll get your chance." And Chief is obviously full of shit. And completely fucking lying to the Gadget, so. Gadget is a peeping Tom on Brenda when she sees that her and Lex are flirting with each other. And dinner party that he's also invited at, that Lex through. Basically, that's what happens, and he ends up getting humiliating himself by himself because something goes wrong. He ends up looking like a complete dumbass. So, one of those things. So, Gadget stumbles onto something in the evidence line, trying to figure out who's the guilty person, and stumbles on cons of who it is through the help of Penny pointing out the obvious that it could be Lex, who takes on the Gadget iconic villain role of Claw. And he goes by Claw as his code villain name. So, once he loses his hand, and instead of like getting ripped, he's seeing the logical conclusion with him basically getting a regular mechanical hand. That's not what happens. He gets a lobster hand, a mechanical lobster hand, as his new hand. What's the point? Oh, I guess so he can get his name Claw. You know, it's not really clear if Claw in the cartoon had a hand or those were his real hand when he showed his hand. And when he did show his hands, those were shaped like normal hands. So it would have made sense if he just had a hand that looks like that was a mechanical hand that looked like a normal hand. You know, shaped like one. Wouldn't that make more sense? That would be more faithful and less cringe. It's stupid when you think about it in hindsight. Of how he gets the name Claw. What's weird how what's weird to me how he wasn't going by the villain codename before when he was committing crime. Why doesn't he just use that as his field codename before he even lost his hand? I don't know. It would make more sense. It would have wasted the audience less time for the audience and me. So Gadget finds out that Claw's guilty and gets himself caught while trying to steal back the foot that Claw stole, that mechanical foot that she killed Brenda's father to get. When they just have to figure out when they just used to figure it out how to work. When they just figure out how to move the foot. So, how they figure out how to move the foot is because, well, I gotta clear my throat a little, you know? Is that how the foot is functioned, how it can move, is because not with his head, but with his emotions, his heart, not his thoughts. Now, this is the same gadget, the same technology and chip they use to bring back Officer Brown and save his life and turn him the iconic Inspector Gadgets. This is this is the same technology and shit that's in the foot. It's the same technology that makes Inspector Gadget function and how he functions. So After he gets caught, Claw builds a evil duplicate. Inspector Gadget to a rampage for the free and destroy the good Gadget's name. Meanwhile, while Gadget's watching all this, of all the crimes he's committing, all the destruction and chaos and children he's scaring, his evil duplicate that Claw made, and his henchmen, Gadget gets his chip removed and destroyed by Claw's own hands. And gets tossed in the dumpster. No, literally, he just when Penny and also Brenda figure out what's really going on, that's not Gadget's committing all the crimes, but someone else. They go to look for the real Officer Brown, the real Inspector Gadget, where he's been, and it turns out he's been left for dead in the dumpster. Or just around piles and piles of garbage. And it's such a sad sight. It's really a sad sight because it's like a really sad sight actually. Now. They found the chip is not only got taken out but got trashed in total, and the chip that was like is basically a being source, or is it? It's not really being hospital. I guess it's like his brain. The chip is so. Yeah, so I guess he can't really supposedly can't function without it. So he's basically completely flatlined at this point. So, because he just got destroyed by Claw, and it looks like Claw has won. But remember when I said that this is the same tech that that they used to the same technique they build the photos like man can't for that the father figure out to use the same thing that made Gadget him the person he is now. Well, I guess he figured out the secret to moving his entire body is to use his heart and not his thoughts. Much like how Brenda's father, pretty much exactly how Brenda's father basically figured out to move the foot. So when Gadget realized what really matters to him, and realized what really matters to him, how much Penny and Brenda really care about him, I guess that basically I felt like I got spark of inspiration to actually use his heart, I guess. Anyways, kind of foreshadowing the events early on in the film. That's going to be the twist in the end. So, does it make logical sense? Kind of not, I guess. Anyways, I mean, I think. Or does it? It does. I wouldn't say does, because I buy it, given this how this movie's handles the story so far. So Gadget's back to life, and when he starts coincidentally when he's like basically when his heart starts beating, it sounds like the Inspector Gadget's theme song. His theme song is like the thing Inspector Gadget's theme song is the sound of that his heart makes. When he's basically coming back from the dead, I guess. So, they all team up to drop Penny off at the house, get away on Brenda, and bring to the drop off with Penny. So, And they go to Claw. And this is reaching the climax. Now, Claw was about to take off in a helicopter with Brenda and stuff. And Gadget is going to stop, but kind of is in a bit of a pickle. He's hanging on the edge of the helicopter and slipping. So he's working on a plan, and he remembers what the old man taught him, that he grabbed the same person that the old man's balls that he grabbed. Told him to visualize his goals. So he's taking that word of wisdom to heart and visualizing his goal. And uses his pen to basically fuck up the controls in the helicopter. And the propeller. So basically, yes, it's like just to fuck up the helicopter. He uses his pen to flicks it open and fucks the helicopter, throwing the helicopter off course. And Penny doesn't stay out of it. Penny and Brain don't stay out of the game because Penny convinces one of the henchmen, that Claw's henchman, to convince him that he's actually a good person. And he turns himself in. After Claw gets arrested and gets caught, right after Gadget, because people were about to arrest Gadget and had guns turned on him. So, and after basically Brenda found out that Gadget has feelings for Brenda because his hat's making a heart shape, beating sounds and motion. So I guess, and this when this thing goes wrong, this one thing go right, the thing go wrong, because the police all pointing the guns on Gadget. So Penny basically saves the day and sorts things out with the police and basically talks some sense to him and get the henchman to confess to everything. And the henchman gives back the foot, the same one that Penny actually convinces that was a good person in the end, that he's a good person in the end. So in a way, much like the show, Penny is the real hero of the film. Of this film, Inspector Gadget. So much like the show, Penny ends up basically also saving Gadget's ass from the fire. I think that's the expression I'm using, right? So yeah. So they all salute Inspector Gadget for doing a good job, and I catch the bad guys and realizing Inspector Gadget was basically didn't really commit any crime, but some was all behind Claw doing so. Yeah. Claw goes to jail for quite some time, it looks like, and he's saying that I'll get you, Gadget, next time I'll get you. Saying this isn't over. He yells at the top of his lungs, so yeah. And Officer Brown and Brenda hook up and start dating, and the kiss seems to be on the 4th of July. Outside of Officer Brown's house. So, yeah, it's a happy ending. So, oh, I mentioned the Pat. You probably want to know what happened to the duplicate. That evil duplicate that Claw made. Well, Gadget went mono was him and won the fight. And unzip his head because it comes off, apparently. And kicked it in the ocean. Yep. So, yeah, this is a pretty funny movie. Lots of fun. And also, so I give this a 10 out of 10. Bye.